Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. For this video, we will present about sucralose for CHM557. Okay, sucralose is a widely used artificial sweetener that serves as a substitute for sugar. It is made from sugar but chemically modified so that it provides sweetness without calories. Sucralose is about 600 times sweeter than regular sugar, which means only a very small amount is needed because it does not significantly affect blood glucose levels and is stable under heat. And also, sucralose is commonly used in diet beverages, sugar-free foods, and also the baked products. How was sucralose discovered? Sucralose was discovered accidentally in 1976 when researchers at Queen Elizabeth College in London were studying modified sugar compounds. A scientist named Shashikan was asked to test one of the compounds but misheard it as taste. When he tasted, he found it to be extremely sweet. This unexpected finding led to further research, and the compound was later developed into sucralose, a zero-calorie artificial sweetener that is now widely used in food and also the beverage. Sucralose is different from sugar in several ways. Although sucralose is originally made from sugar, it is chemically modified so that the body cannot digest it, which means it provides no calories, while sugar provides energy. Sucralose is also about 600 times sweeter than sugar, so only a very small amount is needed. In addition, sugar can raise blood glucose levels, but sucralose does not significantly affect blood sugar, making it suitable for people who want to reduce sugar intake. Sucralose is safe to consume. Basically, yes, sucralose is considered safe for consumption when taken within recommended limits. It has been extensively studied and approved by major health authorities such as the FDA. FDA is US Food and Drug Administration, and WHO, the World Health Organization. Sucralose does not cause cancer and also does not significantly affect blood sugar levels. However, consuming very large amounts may cause mild digestive discomfort in some people. So overall, when used in moderation, sucralose is safe for most people. Sucralose is derived from sucrose, meaning it originates from table sugar, but its chemical structure undergoes a specific modification. In sucralose, 3 hydroxyl groups or OH groups, which are normally present in sucrose, are replaced with chlorine atoms or Cl. These substitutions occur at carbon 4 on the glucose ring as well as at carbon 1 and carbon 6 on the fructose ring.
Sucralose is a widely used artificial sweetener. It is non-caloric and one of the sweetest sugar substitutes currently available, being around 600 times sweeter than sucrose. Now let's compare sucrose and sucralose. Sucralose is synthesized from sucrose through the selective chlorination. Sucralose contains 0 calories. The key difference in the molecular formula is that three of the oxygen-hydrogen group attached to the sucrose molecule are replaced by chlorine atoms to form sucralose. The raw material of sucralose is sucrose, which is a disaccharide composed of glucose and fructose. In the synthesis of sucralose, selective chlorination occurs at specific hydroxyl or OH group on the sucrose molecule, where these groups are replaced by chlorine atoms. The chlorination takes place at the carbon 4 position of the glucose unit and at the carbon 1 and carbon 6 position of the fructose unit. Thionate chloride, SOCl2, is used as the chlorination agent, where it reacts with the targeted hydroxy group and converts them into chloride. At the same time, the remaining hydroxy group are protected by conversion into acetic ester to prevent unwanted reactions.
First, I'm going to explain about the chemical properties. Number 1 is the chemical stability. For the formula is C12H90Cl3O8. For the stability of the chlorine bond, the chlorine atom are covalently bound to the carbon, making the molecule very stable and preventing the chlorine from easily dissociating in the body. This stability is the key factor in its low-calorie nature. Number 2 is the high stability. For the thermal stability, heat, sucralose can be used in the high temperature, producing like baking, pasteurization, and retort canning. Its sweetness is retained with a minimal measurable loss. For the pH stability, acidity, it is stable across a broad pH range, especially in the acidic, low pH like a soft drink, where another high-intensity sweetness like aspartame will eventually break down. Number 3 is the biological illness, low calorie. For the metabolism, the human body does not identify sucrose as the carbohydrate because of its distinct molecular structure. Most of the sucralose that is consumed is eliminated after pass through the digestive system. For the chlorine content, it is regarded as a zero-calorie sweetness since it is not digest for energy. For the diabetic-friendly, it is appropriate for a customer with a diabetes because it has no effect on insulin or blood glucose level. Next is the physical properties. Number 1 is the sweetness profile. For the sweetness intensity, around 600 times sweeter than sucrose because of its use efficiency and only little is required. For the taste profile, compared to the cyclin, sucralose has a clean, pure and sugar-like flavor with almost no metallic or harsh aftertaste. Number 2 is the physical form. Pure sucralose is a white and crystalline powder. It is odorless and its melting point is approximately 130 degrees Celsius, although it might vary significantly depending on purity and crystallization. Number 3 is the solubility. For the water solubility, sucralose high water solubility around 282 grams per liter at 20 degrees Celsius. For the solubility in the organic solvent, it is soluble in several organic solvents, including methanol and ethanol. For the lipid fat solubility, main reason is not to keep in the body's fatty tissues because of pure lipid solubility, which means it's preferred to remain in the water-based portion of dietary. Number 4 is a hygroscopicity. Pure sucralose is a comparatively non-hygroscopic, which means it does not easily collect moisture from the air, unlike sugar. The characteristic enhance the self-stability of a dry food application, such as powdered meats and dry supplement. First is the application in food. Number 1 is a bakery food. Highly stable and maintain its sweetness at usual high temperature, used in baking between 100 degrees Celsius and 200 degrees Celsius. Only very small amounts are required because sucralose is around 600 times sweeter than sugar. Number 2 is fermented milk and yogurt. Yogurt and fermented milk typically have a pH between 4 to 4.5. At this low pH level, sucralose is quite stable to keep the sweetener from breaking down into non-sugar molecules, and it provides a clean sugar-like sweetness that effectively balances this sourness without introducing the bitter or metallic aftertaste associated with some other sweeteners. Number 3 is a beverage. To keep its sweetness potency throughout the product extended shelf life without degrading or generating of flavors and highly acidic low pH. This is essential to counteract the acidness of the citric or phosphoric acid used in a carbonated soft drink. Number 4 is candy. Used extensively because it contains the sugar, it offers instant, long-lasting sweetness without causing dental cavities. This frequently used with both sweeteners such as xylitol or sorbitol. Next is the application in pharmaceutical and nutraceutical industry. Number 1 is the pediatric liquids and syrups. Antibiotics are among the many antipharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, that have a better taste. These disagreeable medical of note are successfully overpowered by sucralose potent pure sugar-like sweetness. It works in conjunction with artificial and natural flavoring ingredients such as cherry to produce a pleasing flavor profile that increases the patient abstention of the prescription. Number 2 is chewable and orally disintegration tables or DDS. The flavor masking qualities of sucralose are maintained throughout the storage since it is stable in its dry and crystallized state. Lastly is the application in cosmetic lip care. Sucralose give a flavorful item such as cherry the sweetness they need to enhance and balance the intended flavor character. Without it, the flavor could have a chemical, red sea, or unnatural taste. Wax, oil such as shea butter, and pigmented makeup the majority of the lip cosmetic. These components may taste waxy or slightly oily. When the product comes into contact with tongue, sucralose functions as a taste mask.
Let's start with the effects on blood sugar and insulin. Research shows that daily consumption of sucralose has no impact on sugar, metabolism, or insulin sensitivity in healthy adults. This is because sucralose does not directly raise blood sugar. The body doesn't metabolize it for energy, so it passes through the digestive system largely and absorbed, making it suitable for diabetes. However, some studies suggest that long-term heavy consumption might indirectly affect gut bacteria or trigger a small insulin release in some individuals, which could affect glucose regulation over time. Next, let's look at metabolism and digestion. Consuming 20% of the acceptable daily intake of sucralose per day had no effect on beneficial gut bacteria. In addition, one study shows that high dose of sucralose for 7 days did not alter the gut microbiome. This happens because the body largely excretes sucralose unchanged, passing through the gastrointestinal tract and absorbed. As a result, most of it ends up in feces, with a small amount excreted in urine. Moving to weight management, sucralose helps reduce calorie intake by replacing sugar, which can support weight loss as a part of healthy diet. In other words, as a zero-calorie sweetener, it helps decrease overall calorie consumption when used to replace sugar, drinks, and foods. However, some research suggests it might paradoxically increase appetite or affect gut health and metabolism, which is why organizations like the WHO advise against relying on it solely for weight control. Finally, let's discuss dental health. Unlike regular sugar, artificial sweeteners are non-carcinogenic, meaning they do not contribute to tooth decay, as a research shows. Moreover, the British Dental Journal notes that sucralose in particular has no effect on tooth decay. In fact, artificial sweeteners may have an anti-carcinogenic effect. They do not only avoid causing decay, but also help protect against it. For example, when consuming sugar, the pH in the mouth drops due to increased acidity. So, artificial sweeteners appear to have the opposite effect, helping to balance salivary pH and reduce decay-causing bacteria.